Space Wembley, and very warm welcome to our online viewers. Today's theme, very interesting topic, worry less, live more. Very, very interesting topic, and for that we have Kanan Patel with us. She has been teaching and practicing meditation over 30 years. She born in Kenya and very educated in UK, and she has worked with young leaders who have interest in self-development from spiritual perspective. So over to Kanan. Thank you.
So, thank you, Kepo, for that very lovely introduction. And it's an honor and a pleasure to be here this evening with all of you. And of course, the ones online on the webcast. And when I got this topic, worry less and live more, I bursted out laughing in front of Nidhi, who was introducing the topic to me. And I said, what an interesting topic. I said, they've got the perfect person because I know all about worrying. And then I thought, well, living is also another chapter all on its own, because today the definition of life is totally different from the definition of life we had in the 80s or the 70s, right? So it'll be interesting what I will actually homework out for all of you this evening. But more interesting than that, when I was sitting in the silent room here in Wembley, I was feeling, I think each one of you have enough experience too on what is life, what is living, and what is worrying. Don't you? We all are masteries in this area, each one of us. And all of us can come up with some amazing insights from our own journeys. And so I'd like to start the session with that 1 minute of silence that the Brahma Kumaris are very famous for before they begin. And so let's do that. But within this 1 minute, let's enjoy being in the present. Yes? And feel that silence, that neutral space. Thank you. And in that 1 minute, I'm sure you must have just been allowed to peacefully sit and rest. But if I took a photograph of all of you and seen how you looked, you yourself can describe what you were going through. That was that 1 minute, a 1 minute that you would like to live for 24 hours. Nice one, isn't it? Oh. And we all know that we could always uplift and, up our energies. There was an image that came to me when I thought about this word worry. And that image was of a scribbly, lined, topsy-turvy line with no direction. Can you feel that? It was very interesting. That was the symbol that came up for me when I thought of worry. And the second thing that came up to me when I thought of the word worry was a big question mark. And not only one, plenty of small little question marks around that one question mark. So you can see how my mind was actually responding to that. It's automatic that if we go into question mode, we don't really find answer, do we? Not really. We always want to analyze and dissect, and then it goes into criticize, and then it goes into blame, and then it goes into all sorts of other things that we don't really want to go. Well, the arguments just grow then, doesn't it? Or justifications keep increasing, and we go into a track that is just not pleasant. And the next thing you know, you've just shut down. Yeah. And I had a similar experience during COVID time, where I was at a crossroad, a time of transition in my life. And there was a big decision I had to make. In which direction am I going? Why am I going? What am I doing? How am I going to do it? What's the next chapter of my life? Do I end this? Do I start this? Do I really continue with this? And if I do, then what would be the effect? And I did a huge SWOT analysis on my journey. Because I'm sure many of us must have gone through that type of period. Yeah. And many of us must have gone through that, anxiety. But when I went through it, one of my very close mentors said to me, why don't you just write? And I started writing. And I wrote, and it didn't matter what I wrote, I started writing every day. Whatever I felt, whatever I did, and literally whatever I've done, whatever I've achieved, what I have not achieved, what I like about myself, what I don't like about myself, what God's told me, what others have told me, what my relatives have said, what my friends have said, what my sisters have said, and what my brothers have said, and everything, whatever was in the Pandora's box, I just wrote. My feelings, everything. It was a very interesting period, almost like journaling your whole life out and not thinking where it goes. And every day I would spend that half an hour or so, however long it took me, until I would feel, okay, tomorrow I'll write again. And it was about 30 days I kept writing, because I was feeling that so many things were clearing each time I wrote. So many good things were happening each time I wrote. So much of my awareness was focused on my learnings, that what did I learn today? And I eventually ended up coming to writing about all the things I appreciated. It was a very interesting, fascinating journey of my journaling, if I was to think about it. And perhaps the best way to come out of feeling lost. Because at that period of time, I wouldn't have listened to anybody, not even to my own conscience, because it just didn't look right at that time. I wouldn't have even had the power to put in action what I thought was the best move, which I knew was. And so to gain that inner strength to even listen to the truth within me, I used the tool of writing. And so my questions were slowly quietening down. And as they were quietening down, there were few left, no doubt, not that, but most of them were disappeared. Most of them had gone. And when there was a decision made in my mind, okay, I'll just need to do this in the next journey of my life. You know, and it was very interesting. Then the offer just came, come to the UK. Literally, like, you know, and you wouldn't believe it. It was like a miracle, and I was in the UK. It was just like a miracle, back again. You know. And there was no way that I could even, think why, how, what, where, but if I had gone again into that, the whole mind would have been again another spaghetti junction for me. But when I came to that decision, I'm not going to think about the how, why, what, when. I'm just going to go, yes. And I know it's going to work. Because if I had thought about, well, what if, there'll be a huge list of what if, and I'll know I have to face the what if in the future. But when the what if comes, then I'll deal with it. So I said to my mind, whatever's going to come in front of me, I'm going to face it with truth. Because I feel true about this decision. Because it's come to me as an invite. I haven't forced it, created it, or asked for it, or even demanded it, or engineered it. I haven't. You see, because I was busy writing everything out. I had no idea which direction I'm taking. But as it came up, I thought, go for it. Don't think. Don't think for another offer to come and think about that offer. Yeah, so here I am in the UK. The result of COVID, from Botswana to Kenya to India to the UK. So it's very interesting, the journey from COVID time to here. And part of me congratulated myself. Of course, deeply, I thank God anyway, and I thank the Brahma Kumaris deeply, because I've been with them since age 5. It's family for me. And stayed in the centers for over 20 years, so it's just another home, And I always feel that when you come to a place like this, and even for me, I can't imagine a life without staying in the meditation center. It just wouldn't work. Best place in the world at this time, in the world. Why? Because one of the things I appreciate the most that give me life are those meditation rooms. And all of you who's come from so far and from your work to sit and meditate, or to sit in this energy, to create the meditative vibration. Right? And so, what would be a world without those who are sitting together and creating peace? Don't want to think about it. Right? So, our meditation centers are buffers of peace. And no doubt issues are always going to be there till the end. But how do I want to deal with those issues? In which vibration? In which company do I want to deal with those issues? Is my choice, and where I want to deal with it. And I know very well I chose here. And so what gives me life is 5 years ago, I had a very big fracture, a fall on my left leg, underneath my knee. 5 bones broken, just walking over a staircase, tripping. And it taught me one lesson. That when in my crutches, and in pain of course, I've gone through a lot of it, I would go into the meditation room, my pain would stop. It was very, very clear. They'd take my wheelchair in there and the pain would stop. And I thought, okay, must be one-off, must be just once or twice or 3 times. But you wouldn't believe it. Every time I went into that meditation room, I had no pain. So it was a signal which I hadn't recognized before. I mean, I know I loved it. I didn't know it was to that extent that the pain wouldn't be there. That means the soul was deeply happy and thriving and alive and energizing and at peace in a room that has 24 hours constant meditation, and it's in silence. I mean, we don't speak in our silent rooms. And so, in second place was very interesting. I never discovered it. But it was when I would face an audience. It was very interesting. Any audience in a group or at a dining room setup or a lounge setup where I had to just share my experience on anything, especially my own inner journeys and discoveries. When I had to share and they'd ask me, okay, share your discoveries with Daddy Janki, or share your discoveries on the spiritual path, or share something knowledgeful, insightful, and virtuous, or some values you discovered. When I would share deep aspects of truth and learnings, that pain wasn't there. I'd be there for an hour and I'm like, oh my goodness, I didn't even think about that pain because I was, happy sharing. So giving and serving really inspired me to, up the life force within the soul. And I recognized it. Not that I have to now get, addicted to it or attached to it, but to recognize what is it that makes me feel alive, that I don't feel any pain in. Not one bit of pain. Yeah? Because worrying is quite painful. Isn't it? It hurts here. Am I right? It's like a block, a knot. It's a horrible feeling. And so think deeply about your journey now. And so I'm going to get you to write, and I'm going to give you a few questions so that you also can see, well, what is it that gives me life and what is it that gives me worry? Okay? But I'm going to tailor it with a few questions for you. So I invite you to just take a board here with paper and pen, and those online can take some paper and hold a pen. I'll take you through a few reflective questions. Okay. So first question. I'd like you to draw an image of worry. Any image. If you can't draw, don't worry, write the word or the feeling. But I particularly like you to draw. What does worry look like to you? Okay, done. Second question. What What do you remember in your life, or when in your life do you remember that you had a lot of anxiety and worry, and what did you do to overcome it? Okay, yes. The third question. When in your journey did you feel that life came back? And what were the signs to show you that you feel alive again? When? Just when? Just remember where you're deeply relaxed and deeply happy, and you had that beautiful sleep where you just didn't think, and you were feeling so relieved. And the next day you were like so alive, like people asking you, what happened? You look so happy. And they're all coming to you the whole day and like wondering, what a day. Suddenly everybody's noticing me. Or somebody is just happy with being with me. You know? What did you do? What was that moment? Just recall that memory and that time. Okay? Wrote it down? And last question. What would you do? And how would you do this? What would you do and how would you do this to help bring someone who has no life back to life? What would you do? Someone who has no life back to life. Okay? Yes, got a few answers there. Got a few insights. Yes, good. Now let's just sit in 1 minute silence again, because you've done a lot of brain work now on your journey. And just step aside from your journey, because now you've kind of touched base with it. And I'd like you to come back into the present here in this room and focus yourself in the middle of your forehead behind the eyes. And if you can't, just use that image behind here, this point of light, and look at the dot. Okay. So now in this silence, taking a photograph of all your faces in silence, we all could do with a bit more life, isn't it? Yeah? Yeah. The whole day you've been so busy doing so much, not sure what, but to me it reveals that you had such an amazing day that you've come to this lecture or this talk on worry less. How many here has come because they worry a lot? Huh? Or how many came here because they want to live more? Okay, they want to live more. You're such a positive audience. So if you want to live more, I've got one exercise that I learned in rehab when I came out from my crutches. Would you like to learn that? Yeah? Like seriously? It is quite cool actually. Huh? It really is cool. And you can even do it sitting on the chair. You don't even need to stand for it, because I learned all the exercises sitting because I couldn't stand and do it. Yeah? Then we'll definitely take a photograph afterwards. Okay. So I'm going to start with the feet and go up. Just sitting on your chair. Okay? And we're going to, the ones online can also do this. This is quite revitalizing, energizing for you all. And I'm going to start by rotating your feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. You can rotate anti-clockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? I'm going to go on your toes. Up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then heel. Toe up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now, you see your heel? And just fan it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now fan in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And relax. Just let them be. Yeah. And now we're going to just do the knee. 1, 2. Gently, gently. 3, 4, 5. That's it. And now we're going to do the joint of the hip. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And relax. Now both together, holding your chair if you can at the bottom. Yeah, you can hold that. And see if you can do this. 1. Not so much, even little. 3, 4, 5. Isn't that nice? Yeah? And you can just relax your legs. Shake it if you can. Really just shake all the energy out and relax. Can you feel the current flowing? Now that's bringing life back to your cells. There's trillion cells in this body, and each cell in this body carries 1 volt of electricity. We are carriers of trillion volts of electricity. And if those electric charges are charged, then your whole body is charged. And can you feel the current? That means your cells are charged. Yeah? So let's charge a bit more. Okay? So I'd like you to just stretch a little bit. Out, 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 out. Really strong. Twist it a little bit this way. 2, 3, 4, 5. And the opposite. And up. And relax. Like a rainbow. Whoops. So I'm going to have to just let go of the mic a bit. One more time. Up and relax. Okay? And now with the hands. The hands are very important. You're going to stretch. Really stretch. Like you could feel it here. And I'm going to slowly rotate. Very slowly. Fine. Rotate it. 2, 3, 4, 5. And forward. 4, 5. And stop. Twist it up. Up. 1. And up. And now back. And forward. Well done. And shake them out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in one more time. Oxygen is free of charge. Free of charge. Breathe in. That's it. Well done. And rotate those shoulders back. 3, 4, 5. And forward. 2, 3, 4, 5. And now, by now, you should be sitting very straight. Right? You feel the charge? Yeah. Now just rotate your wrists. You take them out. Yeah, that's it. Take the energy out now, remember? And the opposite. Well done. Now the neck. You see, the head, they say, is 6 kilos, right? So you have to be very careful with this part. Okay? So we're just going to gently take the neck down. 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 And one more time. And down. Right? And stop. And then turn left and right. Left and right. Left and right. And breathe as you do it, please. Breathe in. Breathe out. And now gently rotate your whole neck slowly. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And opposite direction, anti-clockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Well done. You can straighten your head and just stop. Can you feel it? Your blood flowing? Yeah. And now, raise your hands slowly up. And I want you to just breathe in, breathe out, and go down. Touch your toes. If you can. If you can't, don't worry. Lift your hands up again. Breathe in and breathe out. Go down, right? Down again. Breathe in and breathe out. And now, well done. You're going to give yourself a clap. Whoa. There you go. And really that helps you to energize the palms. Okay? Well done. So now we're going to go back into silence for 1 minute. And I invite you to sit still with your back straight, your head level, and look gently at the point of light on this picture behind. Okay? Now I should take a photograph of you. You should see yourself now. Yes? We're feeling it. We're getting there. Yeah? So you're slowly knowing how to come out of worry. The steps. Okay? Now, in the beginning I shared that for me, the picture that came of worry was a spaghetti junction, isn't it? The mind full of questions, past, present, future, right? But after having cleared my mind with journaling and doing quite a few of these exercises, just gentle ones, you must have experienced it was quite gentle, wasn't it? And yet quite powerful, wasn't it? Was it effective? Felt like you were in a gym sitting on the chair a little bit, right? Oh, without telling you it's exercise. And the third step, to look at the point. That image of the point is the opposite of the question mark. It is so beautiful. It is so aligned. And it's so perfect. Now that's how I want to feel every day, isn't it? I just want to feel like that point of light. Even though I'm in this body, the costume, I want to feel like a point of light. Because actually in reality, I am a point of light. I am beautiful. I am aligned. And I am radiant. It's just that I haven't remembered it enough or experienced it enough. Well, first is to remember, then you will experience. But before remembering it, let me create the thought to see it or remember the image of it. Forget feeling it, that's far away. Yeah? So on the paper, when I, visualize that image of going spaghetti junction type, and on the paper, when you just put the point, the dot, how good do you feel? How simple is it? Just a dot. And it's not just a dot. It's a radiating, living, sparkling, divine, subtle energy that has huge power. It's not just like the star shining like a little laser light in an optic nerve. or an optic fiber. It's not like that. And I want to feel like that, which I have forgotten. So the first identity we learn here at the Brahma Kumaris is about who am I, the soul, the point of light, which is eternal. It's not something that is created or can be destroyed. It just is. And that's who we are. That's how we are. But we've forgotten to remain in its awareness. We get so trapped in this costume, this body, and the physical that we forget. And so places like this just help us to remember, actually, I am a point of light. And I am beautiful, and I am radiant, and I am sitting in the middle here, controlling this body, serving this body, sharing this energy. And I, the soul, am charged. But who helps to charge me? The soul. You can see that the soul has already helped the body charge, right? Yeah? The instruction you heard, then you gave direction and you started moving the body. And it charged. All the cells were electrified. Just sitting on your chair, you didn't need anything. You didn't need a TV screen. Did you? Yes? So you can charge the body with the power of your intellect, and you can also charge the soul. How? With the power of your intellect. By doing what? By connecting your mind with the divine, with the supreme being, the supreme soul. Just as the soul can charge the body by giving instruction to the intellect, soul can also charge itself by using the intellect to connect the mind to the supreme being. All I need to do is create the thought, and the feeling experience will come. Yeah? And so here you would have kind of like got the thought that the supreme, the divine, the light is also like that radiating star, that source of energy, that light that all religions, speak about. The symbol is everywhere. But the method of how to connect may take time for others. Why? Because it requires one to be in high energy mode so that they can go to that level where they are in that silence to draw that power in. Yeah? So you need the step to take you from feeling wilted and a little bit low in energy to physically high in energy within a span of half an hour, right? Now the next step, to go up and to connect to that supreme being, to that beautiful star, that energy, is just another step that you still require the power of your intellect with. Okay? And that will make the soul feel alive. The mind, the intellect, the subconscious will feel charged. And it is in that beautiful silence that you can experience it. Because now your mind and body are happy, right? You're breathing well, aren't you? Breathe. When you breathe, your mind and body are connected. Yeah, they say that just before you leave the body, it's the breath that goes. Yeah? So what keeps the life going is the breathing. Isn't it? But now we're connecting to the one who is doing the work of breathing. The soul. And we're giving power to the soul. You need to charge the soul a bit. Okay? Got that? Yeah? Now, for that, I'm going to do a beautiful commentary for you. A reflection. But I would like you to just really sit powerfully, because you have to be very fit to do this. Yeah, it's easy to fly from New York to London or London to New York, but to get into a rocket to fly to the moon is another level, right? You need a lot of petrol for that one. I said, now we're going to do that. We're going to go against gravity here. So we're going to go up. So we already done the work of going from out to in. We're charged. Now we're going to go from being present to up. You ready? You want to do it? Yeah? So you're going to have to let go of your hands a bit, because you don't hold on to your body there. You can't hold on. Because when the rocket goes up, it lets go of all the fuel. 90% of it has dropped away. For the aeroplane, it stays the same. Nothing drops away. But only the petrol is burnt. So now we're going to sit in our beautiful seats here. Right? And we're going to just relax and be still and powerful and happy. Because now we're going to go beyond. Now imagine flying beyond the globe. I mean, that is cool. It's like no sound. Okay. So I'd like you to visualize again. Keep your eyes focused on this point of light, because we're not, when you keep your eyes closed, we're going into the black nothingness of emptiness. And there's just no light. Okay? And we're going into the past and the future, which doesn't really exist. Yeah? And sometimes it's worse. We're going into some part of our body which doesn't even have any relevance. Yeah? So we don't want to close our eyes. We really don't. We want those eyes to be stable and alert and still and relaxed. Yeah? Okay? And focused on the point. Because that is a king who's awake, alert, and aware. Yeah. So I'm going to take you through a few steps. So all you need to do is just listen, but listen with awareness. So sitting still, let's become present here. I'm already charged. I'm already strong. Now I'm going to take this moment to use my ears and listen for all the different vibrations and sounds. Breathing in and breathing out. Allow your hands to be rested on your knees and your feet grounded on the floor, and your back beautifully straight. In this present moment, I'd like you to visualize the point of light in front of you. Keeping your eyes open, look at the star in front of you. And just create the thought that I am looking at this beautiful radiant star. And this star reminds me of who I am. That I am a thinking, feeling, discerning, and experiencing being. Seated in the middle of my forehead behind the eyes, I, the being of light, the soul. I'm using these 5 senses to radiate, to give, and to use. I, the soul, am the ruler of my sense organs. And now, with this awareness, I take my attention beyond this room, beyond this building, beyond this entire city, beyond this globe, and visualize the entire universe. Weightless, soundless. I step into a world of golden red light, stretching far beyond a world of sweet, beautiful silence. As I step into this world, I can visualize one very special, bright, white, diamond-like star that's so radiant. And like a laser that penetrates that light, glows, vibrates, waves of love and peace. God the Supreme, the light, showers me the soul and charges me with so much purity and love. And as I breathe in this love that's unconditional, I breathe out all the heaviness of the past and the future. It's like the ocean taking away all that which is useless away from me. And it's melting me, cleansing me. Feel the subconscious releasing all heaviness. All blockages begin to fade away. Feel the love. Feel the light. I thank this one, and now I allow this wave of experience of God's love to sit into me, into my memory, and I travel back to this universe, to this globe, back into this building, into this body. And I allow the energy of God's love to flow into every cell in this body. Visualize every cell. All the blockages releasing. Whatever fears and worries there were, they're gone. Breathe in, still looking at the point of light. Breathe out. I thank myself, I thank God, and I thank deeply the place that I'm sitting in here. Om Shanti. Om means I am a soul and Shanti means peace. And let's create a beautiful smile and look at each other. You can look at your neighbors with that sweet silent smile. Yeah? And the last stage, which I haven't forgotten, I'm going to take your paper and pen again. Yeah. And I'd like you now to write 10 points of appreciation of anything and everything you can think of, just 10, what you're deeply grateful for at this stage. Good. Great. So you're grateful, are you? Happy? Alive? Yeah? Did I see the hands go up or still we'll do more? Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I can see the children happy. You want to wave to the camera up there? You want to come? Oh, shy, shy, shy. Oh, she's so happy. Okay. What's her name? Sia. Okay. Okay, you see the photo? Does she look worried? I don't think so. Okay, Om Shanti.
Thank you, Kanan, for the wonderful talk and all the tools and tips given. Our next week, same time, same place, and the topic is self-respect, self-discipline, and self-mastery. So, very interesting topic. And the product of the week.
I'm going to announce this one.
That's fine. Okay.
I'm going to announce this one.
Yeah. All right. Then she's going to announce the product of the week. And thank you for coming, and thank you to our online viewers for joining us. And have a safe journey back home. Thank you.
So I especially went down to the shop just to pick a few beautiful books that remind me of this topic. And I thought I'd do you a favor so you don't have to look for anything. And you wouldn't believe what popped up when I thought about it, because that bookshop has so much potential that I think it is for you to give it life, to see whatever we covered in this hour, right, are in these books, because I got inspired by them. One of them is the book, Pocket Book of Virtue. It has all the virtues that you need, because what you're going to do with all this energy that you have now for this hour What are you going to do with it? You're going to transform it into virtues. You're going to use it to empower your character and personality and your words, because your words are what make your actions. So these words are so important to change the dictionary of your life, because these are the words you want. Yeah. So I really encourage you to buy it, because I have one too, and it's worth giving as a gift if you want to help any child or anyone who's inquisitive about what virtues are all about. Yeah. So this is a must, right? And another book, Slaying the Three Dragons, for those who are very intellectual readers, yeah, and who want to overcome their fear, their worry, and their doubt. Daddy Janki often said this, that it's easy to generate peace after commentaries and to stay peaceful and happy, and we create that for you in the center here so beautifully, right? You even buy the books and go away and read it. What takes it all away is worry, fear, and doubt. Those are the thieves of your peace. So study it, how they come into your life and how you can actually overcome them and recognize them before they take your peace away. Very deep book. Very deep book. And this is the one Niti really inspired me finally to share with you. And it's the book by Miriam. And it's talking about living the freedom. She's written 3, but this reminded me of the talk today. That we want to live, everybody loves freedom. Who doesn't? Right? We want to be free to be creative. We want to be free to reinvent ourselves. We want to be free to start a new journey within this body. We want to create. We love change, actually, and growth. So, inspirations on reflections in this book, if you really want to get into some deep reflective work. Okay? So inspire you. When you feel good, you should buy them. Otherwise, no one buys books. They all go on Kindle. Okay? So that's where I always say, where your money goes, your body will go. Where your body goes, your mind will go. And the opposite. Where your mind goes, your body will go. And that's where your wealth will go. So, something for you to think about before you go today. So if you want to buy, you better buy today. Because your wealth will be invested in something powerful. Okay? So Om Shanti, and see you next week. Welcome.